sitting in the front seat, please make sure your feet, arms, and bags do not touch the helicopter controls. This is the quietest helicopter of its class in the world. More importantly, it's also the safest helicopter ever produced. So relax and enjoy this unique aerial view of Niagara. You're in good company. We fly about 100,000 people every year. Among them such celebrities as Sir Richard Branson, singer Elton John, actor Russell Crowe, and golf legend Greg Norman. Looking downstream as we climb over the Whirlpool Golf Course, you can see the prestigious Niagara Parks Commission School of Horticulture, home of the Butterfly Conservatory. A stroll through these lush gardens and elaborate parklands reveals why it's a favorite year-round destination for thousands of tourists every year. As we bank over the Great Wolf Lodge, you have a clear view of the Spanish Aerocar, about 1,500 feet below us. This aerial tram carries sightseers over the mesmerizing waters of the Niagara Whirlpool. The Whirlpool's current is so strong that objects can be caught in its swirling waters for weeks before escaping into the lower river. Normally, the Whirlpool flows counterclockwise. However, when the river level is low, the Whirlpool slows and actually changes direction, an extraordinary natural phenomenon. The lowest water level occurs naturally during the heat of summer, but because the local generating plants divert river water to create hydroelectricity, the water level drops significantly when energy needs are high. This section of the Niagara River, below the falls, is called the Niagara Gorge. It's a favorite destination for hikers, nature lovers, and recreational fishermen. Most scientists believe that 12,000 years ago, the falls were located near Queenston Heights, 11 kilometers downstream from their current location, and actually eroded their way along this stretch of the Niagara River at a rate of about a meter per year. In the early 1950s, when the hydro plants began diverting water, the erosion rate slowed to a mere 3 centimeters per year. When the first European man recorded seeing the falls, Father Louis Hennepin, in 1678, the falls would have been close to their current location, but the Canadian Horseshoe Falls would have formed only a shallow U shape. Past the Rainbow Bridge are the American Falls and the narrow Bridal Veil Falls. You'll notice that the river above the American Falls is shallow and turbulent. This is due to naturally occurring massive cracks in the riverbed. Scientists believe that the erosion caused by these powerful rapids will eventually destroy the American Falls. Thankfully, according to their calculations, we still have about 2,000 years to enjoy them just as they are. Here we are at the majestic Canadian Horseshoe Falls. Once you've experienced the magnificence of the falls, you can understand why they've attracted millions of people for centuries. While most visitors are satisfied to gaze at them from shore, some have been tempted to challenge their might in daring feats. Although recent daredevil attempts have been fairly successful, we still prefer our more distant, decidedly drier vantage point. The view is simply better up here, and from this angle on a sunny day, you're likely to spot several spectacular rainbows in the mist. Of the millions of people who come to admire the majesty of the falls, only some realize their true power, literally. On the shore of the river below, you can see two great structures. The water intake gates for the Suratambeck Generating Complex, located downstream from our heliport. Together with its sister station, the Robert Moses in the United States, these hydro stations produce 1/4 of all the power used in New York State and Ontario. The water is drawn from the river at these gates and then travels 9 kilometers under the city through massive tunnels to the plant site. In 2005, an Austrian company was contracted to build a third tunnel, which will generate more electricity, enough to meet the annual needs of 2 cities the size of Niagara Falls. clear view of the Sir Adam Beck and Robert Moses generating stations, two very significant aspects of Niagara's economic landscape. For those of you who enjoy touring the lakes, the Niagara Peninsula also boasts many beautiful golf courses. There are several high-profile courses featuring designs by Rhys Jones, Greg Norman, and John Daly, as well as numerous more moderate courses, and even family-friendly par 3s. Yes, golf is yet another way to explore the scenic region in Niagara Falls. Imagine the area below us, alive with the sounds of musket fire, charging horses, and shouting soldiers. Niagara takes pride in its rich history. Several key battles in the War of 1812, Chippewa, Lundy's Lane, and Easton Heights being three of them, were fought and won in this region. Experiencing history is what makes it interesting. A visit to Fort Erie or Fort George at either end of the Niagara River allows you to actually participate in the sights, sounds, smells, and tastes of the past. Battle reenactments, live demonstrations, and interactive displays. Thank you for flying with Niagara Helicopters. Have a wonderful stay in Niagara. We look forward to seeing you again soon. great day and a safe journey home. And remember to check out your takeoff photograph, which is now ready for you in our photo studio.